What did they teach us in high school about journalism? Objectivity, objectivity. So, in this segment, what I'd like to do is read this article from the New Republic, and then let's make some changes and follow the rules that we learned back in the day. So let's just get started. Nikki caves to Trump in the most pathetic way possible. Well, I've seen a lot of pathetic things out there, and it's really hard to say what is the most pathetic way possible, so let's delete that. Nikki Haley caves to Trump. Sure. Nikki Haley is reportedly ceding to Donald Trump ahead of the Republican National Convention in a totally humiliating manner. Well, maybe she doesn't feel it's humiliating. That is subjective, so we'll delete it. After a failed campaign buoyed by the Never Trump movement, Nikki Haley's pathetic caving to Donald Trump stooped to a final new low on Tuesday. Okay, pathetic is subjective. Goodbye. I guess we have to keep caving, but I would say it still has some connotations that sound less than objective. Politico reported Haley will be releasing her 97 delegates and telling them to back Trump at the Republican National Convention next week. Adding salt to the wound, we don't know if she actually was wounded. So we'll just leave it to Haley was allegedly not invited to attend the RNC, according to Politico. The nominating convention is time for Republican unity, Haley will announce in a statement, according to Politico. This is the third time that we are talking about what Politico is saying, and I just taught a unit on reported speech, so I can tell you that whoever wrote this article should have just posted a link to the Politico article, and maybe that would have been enough. Joe Biden is not competent. Okay, that's subjective. However, it's in quotes, so we gotta leave it. And Kamala Harris would be a disaster for America. Once again, subjective, but it is a quote, so we're gonna leave it. All of this is a quote, so we'll go down. Haley built a campaign as a moderate conservative alternative to Trump's extreme agenda. Well, some people think extreme is one thing and some think it's another, so we're getting rid of that. After grim primary results, grim is subjective. I don't really know about this one. Let's just, when all else fails, delete. After the primary results, which actually changes the meaning, so we'll say after the primary, of course they got results. Haley ultimately, whatever, I'll just take it out because it's too much. Haley suspended her campaign in March, the last Trump contender to do so. However, her lifeless campaign continued eating into Trump's lead through the remainder of the primaries. I guess if she suspended her campaign, it is lifeless, so we'll leave that. Haley's zombie campaign picked up 6.4% of Republican voters in Kentucky's primary in May and an eye-popping 21% in Indiana's primary. Okay? For one person, their eye might get popped at a higher number. For others, eyes pop at lower numbers. So let's just say in 21% in Indiana's primary. I think the rest of this paragraph is good. Trump raised racist birther conspiracies about Haley while she was running for president. All right, well, there's nothing to say that it was racist. He's just wondering about her true birth. So racist is something that the author has inserted based on her own opinion. He might not have been racist at all. Don't get me wrong, he might be totally racist, but the truth is that we simply can't know his motivations. We can only assume. So if you want truly objective journalism, then you have to take out the word racist, unless he straight up said he was racist. You can't call someone a racist unless you really know. This is a long topic. I'm not here to get into the specifics of whether or not he's a racist. I'm just saying this author cannot claim he's a racist just because he has conspiracies, which also you can't know what's a conspiracy if you don't know the whole truth. Talia Jane, just like everyone else, does not have the full truth. So basically the whole word conspiracy should be thrown out because we just don't know what the truth is. So let's say he raised birth concerns about Haley while she was running for president, alleging she couldn't be president. Get rid of that. That's annoying. She couldn't be president because her parents were not U.S. citizens when she was born, and mocking her legal first name, Nimrata. I wasn't there. I don't know what he said about Nimrata. I don't know if he mocked it or not, but it sounds like he probably did, considering the next part is a quote from Trump saying he called her a bird brain in September and saying she doesn't have the talent or temperament to do the job. Haley interpreted Trump's remarks as a compliment, a sign that her campaign was gaining momentum, responding, "Love this, it means we're second and moving up fast." Well, we don't know if she interpreted it as a compliment. It sounds like she did, but let's just be safe. And let's just say Haley responded, "Love this, it means we are second and moving up fast." After she suspended her campaign, Trump suggested Haley may have a place on his team, calling her a capable person and noting, "We have a lot of the same ideas and same thoughts." Okay, so the article's done and we've removed all the subjectivity. So let's just compare side by side how it sounds, and you'll get a good idea, and I'll get a good idea if this is even worth my time. Nikki Haley caves to Trump in most pathetic way possible. Nikki Haley caves to Trump. All right. Is there a difference in mood there? Personally, I feel like my version really sounds like the article examples I was shown by Mrs. Harris, God rest her. There's a good chance she's still around. Miss Harris, 10th grade, advanced comp, and English. Thank you for your wise words and guidance. After a failed campaign buoyed by the Never Trump movement, Nikki Haley's pathetic caving to Donald Trump stooped to a final new low on Tuesday. Now let's read my version. After a failed campaign buoyed by the Never Trump movement, Politico reported Haley will be releasing her 97 delegates and telling them to back Trump. Does that feel different to you? Do you feel less manipulated by my version? I certainly hope so. I'm not here, and no journalist should be here to tell you what's pathetic. The whole point is letting people make up their own minds. That's why we're in such a state these days. I understand that if you cater to the people who believe what you believe, you can make more money and get more readers. But once again, I have to say that's why everything's falling apart, because people are putting their principles aside and going with what makes numbers. We need more views. Tell everyone she's pathetic. Tell everyone she's pathetic. Okay, next paragraph. Pretty much the same. Haley spokesperson. Yep, that's the same. Just quotes. No problem. Okay. After grim primary results, Haley suspended her campaign in March. Versus after the primary, Haley suspended her campaign in March. Grim's not so bad, but what someone might think is grim, others might think is not so grim. The brothers Grimm, on the other hand, are dead, so they can't really tell us. Her lifeless campaign continued eating into Trump's lead through the remainder of the primaries. It's pretty much what I got. Okay, let's just get to the last paragraph. Trump raised racist birther conspiracies about Haley while she was running for president. Versus Trump raised concerns. Yeah, we don't even need that birther there. Birther conspiracies, might as well just be concerns and then tell us why. Trump raised racist birther conspiracies about Haley while she was running for president, alleging she couldn't be president because her parents weren't U.S. citizens when she was born. Versus Trump raised concerns about Haley while she was running for president, alleging she couldn't be president because her parents were not U.S. citizens when she was born. On hindsight, this article is not so bad. I suppose we can give it 3 stars out of 5 stars on the objectivity scale. The biggest offender is definitely this headline. Haley caves to Trump in most pathetic way possible. You could eliminate all of the negative connotations in the word caves and just be respectable and say cedes. Nikki Haley cedes to Trump versus Nikki Haley caves to Trump in most pathetic way possible. Oh, I forgot this part. This is a good one. Reportedly ceding to Donald Trump ahead of the convention in a totally humiliating manner. Versus Nikki Haley is reportedly ceding to Donald Trump ahead of the convention. So there you go. Hopefully we all felt the differences in those two. I'm happy to do more in the future and plan to do more in the future, maybe with a bit more prep. But please, a friendly reminder, send me articles. I would love to let me take a shot at objectifying. I don't know what the word is. Maybe sanitizing, sterilizing an article out there that you feel might be leaning too heavily on the side of subjectivity. Because we know that journalism is the final frontier, the last line of defense against blah, blah, blah.